Thank you for having me, Sarita and Maitreya, and the ones I was in touch with, in the company of such distinguished speakers and all of you enterprising young women. I don't have so much to impart on leadership, but I have worked for 45 years and gathered many stories, all of which I've had to compress into 15 minutes. And I have been fortunate doing what I love to do, thanks to a very supportive husband and two wonderful children. My career began in advertising, drifting into branding and curating design and arts for spaces and whatever else comes my way. So I thought to tell any interesting story, I chose these 5 components with a case study for each to create an overarching narrative of my life. So if you look at the setting, a theme, empathy, conflict, and the message. So let's begin with the setting. I've always wanted a home outside the busy lives in Bombay. And as soon as I became a partner in ambience advertising and could afford a home, we began building a home and a life in Kashi, 3 hours from Bombay, an alternative life with my family where we are, even today, for almost every single weekend for 36 years now. So initially it was almost a barren place of land opposite the road to the beach. That was all we could afford. But with a love for nature and some love and care, it became an integral part of our lives. We ate outdoors, we swam in the sea, we played in the sand, we painted our children's faces for entertainment. We had the Navjot in Kashid, so I designed a very simple invite for the weekend in Kashid. We enjoyed the simplicity of a rustic village life, inspired by Mykonos, which we had visited several times, falling in love with the architecture and bringing all its simple elements home to India. I met my husband through music. Both our children are creatively oriented. One became a car designer, one a musician, and sound editor, soon to open her own studio. The home became a solace away from the hustle and bustle of Bombay. It was almost as if we went to work or school in Bombay during the week and came home on weekends. It welcomed the outdoors in just one room deep. So on both sides, we were surrounded by nature. I grew my own exotic vegetables and herbs, and we put it into the food we ate. If you see on the left, there is an urli and grinding stone which came from my mother's home in Chennai, which I decorated. We put a cartel sofa into the swimming pool, which till today is my husband's favorite spot. In fact, I designed a t-shirt for my husband's 70th birthday with him in the pool. And although the children are grown up and one is away in LA, we are still regular visitors every weekend. In fact, I gave up this weekend to be here with you. So I get to the next point, which is a theme. As every narrative has a theme, so does a museum for Mahindra, which I conceived with my architect, where we worked with artists and filmmakers to convey human values and the core values for the giant Mahindra Group.
A museum is an institution which collects, conserves, communicates and exhibits both the intangible and the tangible heritage of humanity. And what makes a museum great? I believe it is about the narrative. It is about the story that that museum is telling you. When it came to Mahindra & Mahindra, we were born in 1945. And in a sense, our progression and our growth has mirrored and run parallel to India's history and development. For all these reasons, we felt that a museum that would showcase our development and our history would indeed be something that would be a very valuable contribution to the general history of India. Like many other things in life, when you do something creative, it starts out with an idea, it's then translated into paper or onto a computer screen, and then when it is executed, then it comes to life. This isn't just a peep into the past. It's also a celebration of the present and a continuum to the future. It's a participative experience. It's an art gallery. It's an arcade to play with beautiful things. It is a living history museum, a museum in motion, because life is not static. Our organization is not static. The Mahindra Museum, too, is a living, breathing entity reflecting the ever-changing world of the Mahindra Group.
So as you say, this is the narrative which was based on human values. So every object of film represented a core value which they lived by. Strategically placed, values like respecting diversity are honored. We made tiny chalk sculptures and we placed it at the entrance to showcase diversity. There was an old ship lantern with a fishing hook that pulled out words like ethics instead of the common business goals like growth, profit, success. Similarly, honesty was conveyed through an artwork made out of recycled tire rubber and metallic waste, a game of snakes and ladders where the snakes would be dragged down wrongful business practices. Ladders can be climbed with the good ones like Empower, which you can see in brass. Here is a touching example of an award for bravery that they instituted, the Mahindra Veerta Award, when they learned about how a young employee who lost his life saving the lives of a couple he saw drowning off the coast of Bandra. The young man managed to save their lives but sadly lost his own. We contacted his family, who was kind enough to give us his possessions which he had on him when they traced the body. We got an artist to put it all into a tiny suitcase which is on exhibit today to remind us of his bravery and of putting others first. Moving on to another component, empathy. Here I'm sharing with you what a before-after situation can be. So this was the cafeteria area in a semi-outdoor space within the prestigious Breach Candy Hospital. Here most people come already sad and burdened with grief and difficulty, and this is what I saw before I was appointed to help. I tried to create a soothing escape from the stress of hospital life with simple seaside graphics and occasional seagull here and there, and called and branded it the Seagull Cafe. Yellow and white chairs and a yellow canopy magically bring a feeling of sunshine and hope any time of day. It was well received by patients, doctors, nursing staffs, and attendants. Here's another example for a press advertisement I had created for Sil Jams in my advertising days, where a childlike smile can evoke a sense of joy and emotion.
Let's hear what the experts have to say about new Sil Jams.
I can eat a whole bottle.
Oh. And so, what's the secret of Sil Jam? And you, sir, what's your honest opinion?
I love Sil Jams.
Sil's fresh fruit jams. You're never too old for Sil.
Gentlemen, has the board reached a consensus on Sil fresh fruit flavors?
I love mixed fruit jam. I love marmalade.
Oh, I see.
Pineapple on top. I love my mommy.
Of course, we all do.
I love strawberry. My turn, my turn. Listen to all me.
Sil's delicious fresh fruit jams. You're never too old for Sil.
Conflict is a very difficult component to deal with, which we all come across sometimes in our lives or careers. Here is one example where I was trying to push the boundaries of art to sell sports shoes. Using beautiful images and of athletic bodies of two sports persons, Madhu Sapre and Milind Soman, one a national discus thrower, one a national swimmer, to showcase strength and beauty like an ancient Greek sculpture, until we got arrested. And after 10 years, we finally got a favorable verdict, but it was hell for all. And I wonder sometimes now, even now, how far is too far? Finally, I leave you with my message to bring childlike joy and beauty into all that we do. I was asked to do a conference room based on a sports theme as requested by my client Harsh Goenka for RPG. They already had impressive memorabilia of autographed bats, balls, and other items. We showcased that all over the room. Then we made an installation to add to that, which was really fun. One by one, I was asked to design every office floor at RPG, where every cabin had its own flavor. I was so inspired by his amazing art collection. And in the corporate office on the 7th floor, I had a concept of the corporate tree house. As you can see, downstairs there was another office which opens out into gardens also, which I created with their Mali. You know, it always helps to befriend all kinds of people. There is creativity everywhere. We added paintings on the wall, we created lampposts, and we created crows and cats, and I converted the lobby into a very happy, welcoming space for people to enjoy coming to work every day. Finally, my last case study, any guesses? So just as I imagined a bakery and a patisserie brand to be, I met Kainaz running beside me. I do a half marathon every year. She was always going back to France to do more courses and upgrade her skills, so I offered to create better packaging for her. This was a drawing of the original brownie box I imagined to be like a fairy tale story of the store outside Khushrubagh. With the success of this box, we developed many more, a lifestyle of enjoying the delicious cookies, cakes, and pastries inside or outside homes, with pets and the occasional quaint furniture. The designs spilled onto the stores too and became inviting spaces with the familiar and well-loved packaging, sometimes even on wallpaper. We developed a lifestyle image for a mass brand, just with this imagery. And now Theobroma, which started as one store in Kolaba in Khushrubagh, is now an all-India brand with over 200 stores and a big business with investors and growing by the day. It started as a dream, so is her story. My journey continues. Thanks to my passion to bring simple childlike joy into people's lives in so many ways, I know there will always be so much more I can look forward to. Thank you.